Hi, here we are. This is lesson 6 of drawing a Porsche Abarth, and just wanted to tell you, if you observe Easter, I wish you happy Easter. As you can see here, what we have done is working on the side of the car. I'm trying to get the lower part of the car done or nearly done so that I can focus on the upper portion, and then we'll work on the wheels and tires and get this puppy done. But as you see, I'm just going over the door on the passenger side, and what I'm doing here is trying to make the door about the same color value or tonal value as the rest of the car. Now you see that isn't going to work completely because the rear fender is darker than the area just immediately in front of the passenger side door. So even when I get the door done, if I don't have time to do the rear portion of the front fender, then it won't be the same. But I'm just trying to get down a base coat of ink so that I can start to get those values to be the same. And as you see, the upper part of the car is lighter because it's being hit by sunlight, and that's not going around the curve on the upper edge of the body. So that's why the lower edge is in shadow, and then even more so than that, on the lower edge of the body, it rolls underneath. And what that does is to make it totally in shadow there. So it's much, much darker, as you can see. All of this will be done when we finally go ahead and do the once over to make sure that all the values in the car are correct. But I'm just right now trying to get down the first layers of color so we can start to work on one value of one place against another. And that's the most important part of this. We don't have color, so we only have ink to use, and ink is just black. And if you put it in lightly, your mind says that that's really gray, but of course it's the same color. It's just not as dense. So we're doing just like an inkjet printer does. It puts down a whole bunch of dots in order to make a picture. Our dots, of course, are much larger than your printer's dots are, but it's the same basic idea. So I'm just laying down the first layer of dots, and then we're going to come back again when we get to the point of trying to finish off the body, and we're going to make sure that those all agree with one another in the way that we want them to. We want the area just below the door handle there all the way down to the front. We want that to be basically one color. Then down the very lower edge, it's going to be very dark because it's, like I said, in shadow. And then up on top, there'll be a little bit more shading on the side, but not very much. And then the wheels and tires will be darker, and pretty soon we'll have this thing done. But I'm really encouraged. It's really starting to come along well now and starting to look like the Porsche that I wanted to draw. So it's working out well so far, and as long as I don't do anything too silly to screw it up, I think it'll come out and be a terrific drawing. I really do like Porsches. They're very exciting cars, especially the smaller ones like this. The 2-liter cars and under 3-liter cars are really my favorites. The big ones, not so much. I mean, the Le Mans cars are just absolutely spectacular, but I like small sports cars, smaller engined, and they're fun to drive, and they get the most out of the driver because it takes maintaining momentum in order to get quick times. And I used to road race Grand Prix motorcycles, and I always raced small ones, and that was fun because it was the same kind of thing. You had to constantly be after it in order to do the best times and to get the best performance out of the vehicle. So these Porsches are the same thing. They don't have the brute power of the big cars, but they had really great handling, and they were just terrific cars to drive, and they would just really embarrass some of the big cars on short courses because they could turn so much faster, and even for a short time accelerate faster without going off the road and without just laying down big streaks of rubber on the ground. So it's kind of a finesse thing. You have to be very careful with how you put the power down, but it is there and you can use every bit of it. It's not that you have too much power. So It's really fun to drive them. They make you a better driver. Anyway, you can see we're almost done with the passenger side door now. It's coming along fine. Like I say, it's got some spots in it, but we'll make that agree with the whole side of the car, lower side of the car, and then we'll work on the upper side, do some little interior trim, and pretty soon we'll have the upper portion of the body done too. Then we'll work on the wheels and tires, and we'll do the final cleanup, make sure all this looks good relative to any other place on it, and before you know it, we'll have a drawing done and we'll be starting a new one. Anyway, here we go, down to the end of it. I hope to see you tomorrow. This thing is coming along great, and we should make some good progress. See you then. Thank you very much. Bye.